amazing sixth graders? So over the past 2 weeks, we've been looking at these cup systems, right? And we've been looking at what type of cups keep liquid cold, what type of cups keep liquid hot. And this week we looked at how water or liquid can evaporate out of an open cup system. And today I have another question. So there are these three friends, Sarah, Michael, and Regina. And this summer they were visiting, I know they shouldn't have because of COVID, but they were visiting in Regina's backyard and they were enjoying some ice cold lemonade. And they noticed that there were droplets on the outside of the cups. And the three friends were talking about this, and each of them came up with different claims or different ideas for where those droplets were coming from. Sarah came up with this idea that the droplets on the outside of the cup must be lemonade leaking from inside the cup. Regina said the droplets on the outside of the cup are water and that they came from air outside the cup. And Michael said that he agrees that the droplets on the outside of the cup are water, but he thinks they're coming from the melting ice cubes inside the cup. So I wonder which friend actually is right. Here's a picture of a cup that's been sitting outside. It has an ice cold liquid inside, and it's been sitting outside in the sun on a picnic table. And we can look and we can see those water droplets or the liquid droplets that Sarah, Regina, and Michael both saw. If we put it under a microscope, you can actually see those little droplets, which is pretty cool. Where do you think those droplets are coming from? Which friend do you think is right? Sarah, who said that it's the liquid leaking through the cup. Regina, who said that it's coming from the air around the cup. Or Michael, who said it's coming from the ice cubes inside the cup. And how do you think we could prove that one of those friends was right? So in science, we like to try to prove things. So what sort of experiment do you think we could do to prove whether Sarah, Regina, or Michael were right? Well, I came up with an idea to test Sarah's theory. So Sarah is saying the liquid is leaking through the walls of the cup. And I thought, well, let's add food coloring to each one of these cups and look at the drops on the outside of the cups. So if the drops on the outside of the cups are red or the same color as the liquid inside, then that would show that Sarah was correct. But if they weren't the same color as the liquid, then that would show Sarah was wrong. So I filled up 2 cups with water and food coloring, and I sealed them off completely so that nothing could get in or out of this cup system through the top. So they put lids on them and were completely sealed. And let's see what happened. These cups actually have purple food coloring in them. But if we look at both of the cups, and the metal cup is the easiest to see, but if we look at both of these cups, the water droplets are clear. They're not purple like the food coloring inside. So that shows that the water must not have been, or the liquid must not have been leaking through the sides. So Sarah's claim must be wrong, right? When she was looking at her cup, the water drops or the drops on the outside were not lemonade leaking from inside the cup. So that leaves 2 more claims now. We have Regina's claim that the droplets on the outside of the cup are water and that they're coming from air outside the cup. And we have Michael's claim, who said he agrees the droplets on the outside are water, but he thinks they're coming from the melting ice cubes inside the cup. And I thought, well, how could we prove those claims? Which one of those claims is correct? And I came up with this idea. I came up with the idea of taking the mass of these systems to seal off both cups completely on the top so nothing can leave through the top of the cup. And then to take the initial mass of both these systems and then let them sit for 10 minutes and take the final mass. So Sarah's claim is already wrong, but we've already shown that with food coloring. But Michael says that those water drops on the outside are coming from ice cubes inside the cup. So if Michael was correct, then the mass of my cup systems should stay the same because nothing was entering or leaving the system. It was just moving from the inside to the outside, but the amount of the liquid would stay the same, so the mass would stay the same. If Regina was correct, then the mass of these two cups should increase because we're adding mass to our systems by those water drops coming in and coming from the air around. So what do you predict is going to happen? Do you think Michael is right, where the mass will stay the same? Or do you think Regina is correct, where the mass is going to increase because water from air is being added to our cups? Well, let's test and find out. So here's the starting mass of both these systems. Remember, they're completely sealed at the top, so nothing can get out through the lids. So the initial mass of the plastic cup was 247.1 grams, and the initial mass of the metal cup, which is heavier because it's made of metal, was 411.4 grams. So I'm going to let them sit for 10 minutes, and let's see what our ending masses were. So in the plastic cup, our starting mass was 247.1, and our ending mass was 247.9. So that means it increased by 0.8 grams. In our metal cup, our starting mass was 411.4 grams, and our ending mass was 411.8 grams. Again, that cup system increased by 0.4 grams. So we just looked at these, we just tested out these claims. And Sarah, remember, Sarah said that the droplets must be the lemonade leaking from inside the cup. Well, we did food coloring, and we showed that no, it's not the liquid leaking from inside. And then Michael said he thinks the drops on the outside are water, but it was coming from the melting ice cubes. Well, we just took the mass of both systems over 10 minutes, and we found that the mass actually increases. So it wasn't just the water from the ice cubes moving, it was something being added to our system. So Regina said the droplets on the outside of the cup are water and they came from the air outside. Well, her claim must be the accurate claim because we proved that mass was being added to the cup. So somehow those water droplets on the outside of the cup were being added to the cup from somewhere. And it had to be, the only thing around the cup was the air around the cup. So it had to be coming from the air. And that it definitely wasn't liquid leaking from inside the cup. So Regina's claim is correct.